In October 2007, Nigerian police arrested several men suspected of operating an international women trafficking ring. This swoop was meticulously planned, with arrests taking place simultaneously in Europe and the US. For years, underage girls had been trafficked from Nigeria to the Netherlands through Schiphol Airport near Amsterdam. The young women were then forced into prostitution across Europe. This is where the case has ended up. The Department of Public Prosecution in the Netherlands, where 15 members of the trafficking ring are facing trial. Vane Tenkate is heading up the prosecution team in what's become a landmark case.
This case is historical because it's the first time that we have seen this whole chain going from Nigeria into Europe, into the Netherlands, into Belgium, France, Italy. And we rolled up this whole chain. So that's the unique part. In earlier cases, we cut it out one part of the chain. And then the chain was connected by the criminal organization again. But now we rolled up the whole chain, and it actually has stopped now. People don't come into Schiphol Airport asking for asylum anymore. And disappearing into Italy in prostitution scenes. So in that respect, it's also a unique case.
See this one here? Looks like his brother, a musician somewhere in Europe. We haven't spoken to him about
The full extent of the human trafficking ring's operation was uncovered by Dutch and Nigerian investigators. Well over 100 young women had been given fake passports, visas and references, which they submitted with applications for asylum in the Netherlands. All underage, the Dutch authorities were not allowed to deport the girls, so they were sent to shelters. Lus Verlenga is an asylum lawyer. One of her clients is a key witness in the trial.
But you must know that until 2 years ago, those Nigerian girls who were brought to that specific shelter, 99% of them disappeared after 2 or 3 weeks. And they were... Once a woman came back to me and she told me what happened in Italy. But all those minors, you know, the men are just outside the center waiting for them to come out. And they say, here I am, it's time to bring you to work. And it's only since a year that the Dutch Immigration Service is organizing another kind of shelter where they cannot be abducted from.
The girls are forced into prostitution to pay back up to 50,000 euros. Their earnings line the pockets of the procurers and madams, the women based in Nigeria who recruit and persuade the girls to leave their homes for Europe.
What happened, she was sold by her aunt. Her aunt brought her to an organization in Lagos who organized her travel to Europe. So slowly she began to realize what really happened. And that's not nice. If the one you think you can trust just sells you to do nasty work. And she was only 16, eh? She was like that.
The girls arrive at Amsterdam Schiphol Airport, believing they'll soon be earning their living as waitresses or hairdressers. The Nigerian ringleaders allegedly resort to whatever means necessary to intimidate the young women, threatening them with voodoo curses and black magic to ensure they don't talk. By the time the police get involved, they're often too terrified to explain what's happened to them. Tom Marfo is a priest from Ghana who helps investigators by talking to the girls, calming them down and helping them defy the curses they believe have been put on them.
So the immigration officials, the police, invited me to explain to them, to teach them, to give lectures to their officers who deal with these victims about what voodoo is and the effect and impact it has on the girls. So it is through these lectures that they are beginning to understand that we're dealing with a real situation and not a mythical, imagination.
10 women have now broken their silence. Their testimonies are key to the case the public prosecution is putting together.
We see that we can have success. And of course it's a big business, but you should never give up, because you should be aware of the victims who are involved, women of flesh and blood.
It is a small success, but most cases never even reach the courts.